Right, hello everybody. It is Monday the 13th of February. We are just after 7:15, so sorry if you're being ever so slightly late, but we are here for this very special Devon FA Q&A answer session titled Penalties, Whistles and Cards, all things refereeing with Richard Mason, who's over there. There he is. Well, we're going to make it big in a minute. So this is your chance as referees to ask any questions you got at Richard Mason, development incidents, anything like that. If you want to progress, great. Check your questions in. We'll answer them for you. If you're a player, coach, league official, and some decisions that you want clarified or asked about, please ask. We will answer them honestly. May not be the answer you want, but we'll tell you what the score is from a refereeing and the laws of the game point of view. So without further ado, let's change some of these things here, and let's introduce you to Richard LFC Mason, who is our Devon A Referee Development Officer. A little round of applause there, Rich.
Thanks, Jace.
How are you, young man?
Yeah, good, thank you. Yeah, good. I've got my blue on tonight for Everton. Obviously, 3 points for them later on would be much appreciated.
And not going to happen.
Oh, you never know. You never know.
No, I do know it's not going to happen. Very, very simply there. So, who's watching? Alan Lewis.
What a surprise.
Well
Hi, Alan.
Well, talk to Alan.
Who else have we got on there, Jace? Anyone? No, just Alan?
No, just Alan.
Just me and you then now. So,
26 people watching at the minute, which is great.
Yeah, it's a good start.
But nobody wants to say anything. So I am going to open up. I'm going to take my headphones out so I don't have the echo in my ears. I'm going to start off, Richard, by talking about an incident that has happened this weekend, in whereby it was a youth game and the referee had a lot to deal with. Ended up, sent some people off, ultimately abandoned the game. So let's talk through the process of that. What should referees do if they find themselves in that position? And then also the support that's there for the referees moving forward. Because what I will say is this happened yesterday. It's very fresh in the referee's mind. We got police involved and everything. We're not going to talk about the incident. It wouldn't be right to do so. But the referees today spent some time with you to go through the report writing process to make sure that it's right.
Yes, he has.
Yeah, I don't think a lot of people realise that support is there. So let's kick off. Nice
kick
pun.
off, yeah.
Nice pun. So we've got a situation in a youth game. Two players have had an altercation. Both have been sent off by the referee. And then all hell breaks loose. All right. Talk us through what should happen from there.
So what the referee's got to remember is that they've actually got to stay safe herself as well. So what we don't want is, if there is a big coming together, we don't want the referee in the middle of it. Two things. One is we want them to stay safe, but we also want them to be able to see what's going on, and you can't always see that from right inside. So yeah, get in a position and try and remember what you see. It's very difficult because there could be people coming in from all different angles and doing different stuff, but you've got whatever you see is what you've got to record and then report after. Ultimately, if you don't feel safe or the game's potentially not going to be, it's going to just turn into a farce after, then you would abandon the game and do your reports after that.
Okay, so let me stop you there if I may. So you say just abandon the game. All right, now for some more experienced officials, so Tom Ansons-Mitchell is watching. Hi, Tom. Luke Wilkes, a man of much experience. Dave Loader, more experience than I care to mention. With Dave, Mark Jaboyevich, Paul Redding, Paul Allen, Brian Johnson, wow. And all the way down to Leon Brooks, who's building experience in refereeing. So some very experienced referee officials will know what to do. But for the less experienced official, how do you actually abandon a game? What do you do?
Well, you would, from a referee's point of view, it is you would blow the final whistle and just say the game's abandoned. But
What? Just say it. So, game's abandoned.
well, no, you make it known quite loudly that the game's abandoned, and for if you want to explain the reasons, you can.
So I just stand in the middle of the pitch and shout, "Game abandoned."
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. You would obviously say make it so you're safe. That's the important thing. Is remember that as a referee, you've got to be safe as well. And one of the reasons for abandoning the game is actually potential loss of control or something that escalating that incident again later on in the game. So yeah, you would abandon the game and then you could do your reports after.
Would it be wise to communicate that decision, if safely, it can be done, of course, to both the managers that are there, so they know?
Yeah, indeed. Yeah, I say safety is the important thing, and if it's safe to do so, get the managers together, tell them why it's been abandoned, and that's it. Don't ever tell the managers the result will stand or anything like that. It's not
why not? Clearly, if it's 10 minutes to go and we're winning 6-0, of course the result's going to stand rich.
Not your job as a referee. Oh. That's down to the league or the competition to decide the result. So yeah, don't get caught into the trap of telling teams that the result will stand, because it may not.
No, and that's it. Very much down to leagues to make that decision, and not us as referees. So we can just wash our hands of that one. It's nothing to do with us. Slopey shoulders. Leagues will decide, or indeed county if it's a county cup matter, on what will happen with the results. So report writing all submitted on the whole game now, which is great. But if someone's not comfortable and unsure, they can reach out to you.
Yeah, of course they can. Yeah, I can always offer advice. If someone wants to give me a ring or actually come into the office, we can sit down and do the report together. And the report's got to be what you saw, what you heard, and have as much detail as you can remember from the incident. So that's why it's always important when you go away from an incident that you've got notes maybe on the back of your match card or something like that of who did what, who said what, just as a rough guide, so then you can remember when you come to do your report, oh yeah, this player said this or did that, and then as much information as you can about the incident that led up to the abandonment and anything that happened after the abandonment.
No, absolutely. So I think it's important to stress that the referee that we've helped, or you've helped write the report today, is an experienced official.
He is, yeah.
So this isn't a service that we're expecting new referees to undertake. Actually, there are some incidences, which will test even the most experienced official to say, can you just give me a bit of guidance on what to write, where to take this report?
Yeah.
So anybody can have that support that's there.
Yeah, they can, yeah.
Okay. And the referee's okay because we've spoken to him. He's been in today. Bit of a tough one to deal with for even the most experienced official.
Yes, he did say that it was a tough incident, but he is sort of resilient. He is going to get back out there next week and go and do it again. And we've done our part now. You
made him, to be fair.
Well,
you wouldn't let him leave until you promised he would be out there next week.
We've done our part.
You shut the door. You locked the door and said you're not going until you.
It is your office, after all.
Yeah.
He's done his report. He's done as much as he can now for as the county's witness, he's going to go back out there and referee again next week.
Excellent. So good stuff there. Mark Davies, hello, how are you? Tracy Upham, hello Tracy, I haven't spoken to you for a while, hope all is well. Nathan Batchelor's here. Of course Nathan's here.
I know.
All right. Alan Lewis, Nathan Batchelor, always here, always present. So Nathan, thank you very much for watching. So question from Nathan. Nathan's put a question in, which is great, but anybody else who's watching, there's loads of people here. Let's put your questions in, things you want to discuss. This is your opportunity with Richard there. He doesn't see the questions, I do, so you don't have to be afraid of what's coming in, ask anything you want, and I will get the answers out of him. All right. If you do not put questions in the chat, I'm going to have to talk about Liverpool.
That won't take very long, will it?
Well, we can discuss the season and how it's falling apart. That'll take all night. We can do that for ages. So this is very much your show. Please, please, please ask away. So, a question from Nathan: how can leagues support both referee development, okay, and more importantly, referee retention? So, what can our leagues do to help your work on those two fronts?
So, a couple of the leagues that we've got in Devon have actually subsidised referees courses, or part of the candidate fee. They've had bursaries where they'll then go and referee. The referee completes the course, goes and referees for that league for 5, 6, 10 games, whatever the league require, which is great, because actually we're making sure that the referees are going to the right places. We could have all the courses in Newton Abbot, have hundreds and hundreds of referees in one area, and then just not have the games for them. So yeah, it's always great to be able to work with the leagues and have this understanding with the leagues that we help each other, really. If you need a referee, well, if you're prepared to put a course on, we'll come and deliver it in your area.
Okay. I have two questions following that, which I'm sure people are thinking out there. You say leagues are funding the cost. Mm-hmm. All right. It's a big cost. So we're asking, some leagues are supporting that, which is fantastic. Let's give a shout out to Mick Tattersall and the North Devon Football League. I know he's a great driver and supporter of that referee recruitment for you. But Richard, the game needs referees. Mm-hmm. You need referees. Surely the easiest way is make the course free, and then you get loads of referees. Why do you charge so much for the course?
Well, yeah, we could make it free, but the course fee that we've got, and yes, it is a lot of money at the outset, but we do everything, provide everything that someone's going to need to go and referee. So straight off the course, they can go and referee. So we supply a kit, we supply all the accessory pack, and we also cover the first year of DBS and all the other costs that go with the course. I mean, yeah, if we could get a venue free of charge, then it would be great. But we've got all these sort of costs to add in as well, and there's the support that they get after as well. So each candidate gets at least 3 mentor visits. So part of the course fee then goes to pay for the mentor costs and all the support that we get and we can give after as well. So it's not just about the course, but it's also about what we can do after the course to help the referees.
I'm not sure people realise quite how much is on that course. I mean, the night, because you give them the night referee kit, or we moved to, she's still on the night kit.
Yeah.
So the course candidates get the same kit that you see the guys wearing on the Premier League week in, week out. So, that's a fair chunk of the course. 2 whistles, cards, flags. They get all that as well?
Yeah. And down to iron-on badges for the shirts and things like that. So they go out and they don't stand out because they haven't got badges on or anything like that. So yeah, all of that's included in the course fee.
Yeah. Safeguarding you didn't mention, so that's covered in the course
fee.
Yeah. DBS, which lasts 3 years. Yeah. That's included in the course fee. First year registration.
Yes.
That's in there as well. So already, just for those 3 elements, that's what, £60?
£60 cost? Yeah.
And that's all to the candidates as well. Plus then you've got tutors, which need to be paid for as well, and the venue costs. Although, however, you have a comment, and I did say I'd put them through. Somebody has pointed out that actually there is somewhere in Devon that does give you a free venue.
There is.
And you've not mentioned them.
There is. And I'm off there again in March. Dave Loader at Braunton Football Club looks after us. Always, when I go to North Devon, we always get looked after at Braunton. So Dave, I thank you for that. And you're right, Mick Tattersall in the North Devon League and the league itself do back the referees. They've got a bursary, which is fantastic. And North Devon's always a nice place to go and do a referees course.
And you and I are off there again.
Yes, we are.
The end of April.
Yes.
For R&T Tours, Mr. Loader. We will be coming up to see you on that. Okay, so that was one question from your little league support thing. The second question is, you mentioned that referees will go to the right places. Now, surely when you say that, there must be some responsibility on our current group of referees to appropriately feed back on behaviours, both positive and negative, to their current leagues, so that the leagues can put the right people in the right places. Because you don't want a team that's a consistent nightmare for those. Let's use North Devon, because we're talking about North Devon primarily here in terms of the examples. So Tony Cloak goes to a club and gets grief. Loader goes there the week after and gets a little bit of grief as well. And then we've got Scott Sayer goes the week after and gets a little bit of grief. If those three referees don't feed back to the league, then the league will go, brilliant, new referee, fantastic, off you go to this, because they believe there's no issue there. And then all of a sudden there's a problem. So surely you must put some responsibility on our current group of referees to feed back appropriately.
Yeah, that's very important, actually, that we do know about not only the bad points, but we know about the good points as well. And we have on our on our website, there is a link to Respect, and you can report good practice, poor practice, and it would be good to know. So if you go onto our website, www.devonfa.com, and look for the Respect thing, there is something to submit online Respect sort of questionnaire. Tell us what's happened, and was it good? Who did it? Who and we can act on that as well. So,
okay, so great answer to a great question from Nathan. We have lots of questions coming in, which is some you're going to like, some you're not going to like. Matt Corey, Matt, long time no see. Hopes we're both well. Matt, Richard's commented on the size of your 3G pitch. Can you make it a little smaller, because he struggles to run around it?
He's not there anymore.
Oh no, of course he's moved now, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's moved and moved and moved, I think.
Right, Paul Redding. Let's go top to bottom. Paul Redding. So it's good that support in the report writing process is there, but after the event, is there any feedback to the referees on the charges, the outcome, maybe any further investigation that's going on? Do the referees get told?
The referees aren't told of the result.
Why not?
That's an FA policy. And actually, does a referee need to know? The referee is the witness. They've done their bit. They've reported. And then it's down to the discipline department to deal with that. Should they require any further information, they'll contact the referee. But once it's submitted and done, that's it. The referee's job's done.
All right. So, but dare I say that any outcome or any pathway of the discipline process is going to follow, that's not secret, right?
No.
So whereas, you're busy doing what your stuff is, so I don't think you've really got the time to feed back on everything. But if a referee rings up and says, Richard, got involved in this case, can you let me know, how it's progressing or what the outcome is? You'll tell them, right?
Yeah. I've got no issue with. I can't tell them if it's still ongoing, obviously, but if it's been resolved, then I've got no problem with telling people what the outcome was.
Okay, so there you go. So the onus, I think the key message from that is, it's not a secret. It's not one that we put out there, but if any referee wants to know, all they have to do is pick up the phone, drop you an email, and they can get as much information as you have to pass
definitely.
on. All right, there you go. Paul, hope that answers that question for you. Dave Loader, so what do new referees do when managers and coaches say, and this is one of the classics, isn't it? You're not putting that in a ref.
Well, hopefully the new referee, they are taught on the course that actually everything will be submitted. And they would politely, I hope politely, tell the manager that it would be submitted, and still put them in on the whole game. Reporting is now so much easier than when I first started. We had to write them in duplicate, and then we had the carbon paper, and then now it's just a tick box on the whole game. So it's so much easier to do, and not very time consuming at all. So yeah, if you take any action on the pitch, or after, or during the game, it gets reported. That's a very, very important point to make. It will get reported. It must get reported.
And of course, the great answer to back is, especially if they say it to you when you're in the clubhouse or just leaving, you're not putting that in you. Sorry, mate, it's online, done it already.
Yeah, yeah.
But I don't think referees realise that actually you can report a manager for that. Mm-hmm. So if a manager says that to you, if you're so inclined, you can report it, and that's something that the manager can be charged upon, because they shouldn't be asking you questions like that. The action's taken on the day, and that's the end of it. All right. So Brian Johnson, we need more mentors. So what are you doing about referee mentors? Getting some more in, and we're going to tie that in with a question from Leon Brooks as well that says, actually, what do you need to be a referee mentor? Do you actually need to be a qualified referee?
Right. Well, there are going to be some more mentor courses in the close season. We've trained up, I think it's about 34 at the moment for this season, and they are primarily, not totally all, have a refereeing background. We have one who is a former member of staff at Devon FA, who's a referee mentor, and was never a referee.
Before you drop yourself in it, he is watching.
Right. Okay. Does he realise I'm sat at his desk?
He has already commented on the fact that the desk is being used. Yes, he has.
So, yes. Do you have to be a referee? Do you have a referee background? No, because the job of the mentor is to just be that person that can help. A footballing background would be great, but sometimes it's not the footballing aspect they need. They just need that person who's going to be the ear, so they can, the referee can spout off, and they just need someone to listen. And so, yeah, if anyone wants to be a mentor who's not got a refereeing background, let me know. And when we do the courses, I will let you know, and you can come along and do them.
Okay, and as you're not going to, I will. If you look on our Facebook page, which you're on now, go into the video section. You see there is a really good piece that we did there on an interview with Richard and Matt Barrett about refereeing mentoring and the process and everything behind that. So if you want to go and have a look at that, Leon, you can get a little bit more information from there as well. All right. Okay, loads of people watching. This is great. Andy. Oh, this is a great question from Andy Raybold. Right. Can ex-players be fast-tracked as newly qualified referees to referee adult matches, or do they have to start in junior age groups?
So anyone who becomes a referee can, at the age of 16, referee open age football. So if you're over 16 already and become a referee, you can referee wherever you want. If you want to referee open age football, which is the adult game, you can, or you can start in youth football. So yes, you can go straight into adult football. And now with the progression pathway as it is for refereeing, you could be promoted as a referee up the levels twice or three times in a season. So you could start off the season as a junior referee. By the end of the year, you could be a county senior referee.
Okay, so let's use Andy as an example. So Andy, I'm sure he won't mind me saying this, back in the day was a very good footballer. Mm-hmm. All right. So what's the opportunity for someone like Andy who says, yeah, go on, I want to give back something to the refereeing, but at the level where I used to be? Because perhaps he's been away from the lower reaches of the Devon Exeter League, the South Devon League, P&D North. He's been away from that for a while. I understand Devon Football League or South West Peninsula League a lot better. What is their incentive is there for someone like Andy to get to that level, or quickly? What's the
Yeah.
fast track process?
Again, as long as you meet the criteria for the promotion, you could be promoted to that level from a trainee referee to that level within 2 seasons, providing that you meet all the criteria of the different steps of promotion. Yeah, there's no reason now why in 2 seasons you couldn't be refereeing at that level as a referee.
So it's very much the onus on the player like Andy. If you believe you should be at that level, get out there and demonstrate to me that you or not to me, to you, that you should be at that level so that you can do the necessary to promote them up there. All right, Andy. So we'll book you on the next course then. Yeah. I will see you there. Alan Lewis, doesn't matter how experienced we are, we can all feel vulnerable. Absolutely right. It's good to know you're there to back them up. Self-control is hard. Yes, many times I wanted to say to a player, but you just can't. So we've got to put ourselves above the incidents that are happening around us. But, if it's reported, it can be dealt with. Matt Rushton, yeah, absolutely. He's refereeing himself now, so he understands, can actually issue those charges within FA guidelines. Is very important. And I know some people go, Devon FA, you only ban so-and-so for 3 games or 8 games or whatever. We are bound by rules. All right, so the FA will say, for this sanction, you can only do this, this and this. That's it. So frustrating sometimes, but yeah, we've got rules and processes to follow the same as everybody else. All right. Mike Ebden's been on, tagged in Bryn. Oh, Bryn Ebden, there's a referee I've not seen for a long time. Mike, I hope Bryn is well. Mentoring courses coming up and what's involved. I think we covered that in the summer and the close season. But Mark, have a look at the referee mentor video on our Facebook page. Right, Dan Yeoman, post-16 education course like the one that PAFC have got here with 25 to 30 students aged between 16 and 19. How much would you put on a course for them approximately? I think probably an offline question to answer.
Yeah, if you can drop me an email with that, I can get back to you with a price for that. That's not a problem.
All right. So, Dan, if you're still listening, I will change Richard's information here, and I'll put his email. This is live editing, by the way, of our graphics. I'll just change that in there, so you can send Richard, drop him an email, and he'll look at where and when, who's involved, how many people. So, and I'm sure he'll work together with you to get that up and running. So, Lewis Bell, this is a great question, and I don't know the answer to this one, right? So you're not passing this back to me. This is all down on you, Lewis Bell. I love you, and first cup final you come to, I'll let you in free of charge. All right, because this is a great question. How do referees deal with issuing cards to colourblind players without making it obvious to everyone else?
Jace, that's Jace. They would there is a process for issuing cards. So if it's a yellow card, you would get the player, you would isolate the player, you would tell them they're being cautioned, before you get their details. So actually they know it's a yellow card. The difference is for a red card that the player is called in, get the details first, and then you tell them they're being sent off. So it's all in the communication from the referee. The card colour the card is for everyone else. So it's an aid for everyone else that knows that the player's been cautioned or sent off. And the player actually knows, because the referee does the right process, the referee tells them what is happening. You're going to be cautioned, or I'm going to now send you off.
So it's very much key that because a lot of adult players will say this as well. The referee didn't tell me I was being sent off, or didn't tell me I was being carded, so therefore the card doesn't count. The referee doesn't have to show a card. The card's not for you, the card's for everyone else. So come in, Richard Mason, I am cautioning you for simulation, well chosen, and therefore you turn away, and I show the card, and the card is to communicate that to everyone else. So in answer to your question, Lewis, the player will know, because that's where the referee will tell them as part of the caution process that's there. Matt Barrett recognises desk. Paul Allen can't believe that I use an example of Tony Cloak getting grief.
No,
No, just names are plucked out of the air. Right. 60 people watching, Rich.
Yeah, good.
Yeah. I didn't realise you had that many family and friends. I've got to be honest.
I haven't. I haven't. I've got that many family. I didn't say they're all friends.
Right, Sam Gray. I'm a new ref. When do you get told your first game once you've got your DBS? So, new referee, they come on a course.
Yeah.
They've got everything. They've got the kit. They're keen to get out there. And referee, what happens now?
So, Sam, after the course, you sent the list of leagues you wanted to officiate on. That league has been contacted. And the appointments officer should be in contact with you. If they haven't, please drop me an email. Details are on screen, and I will chase that up for you. But all the leagues that you want to officiate on have been told that you're wanting to officiate. And then once you've got everything in place, we can get you out refereeing.
So there you go. Sam, over to you. Scott Wilkins, evening to you, young man.
Scott.
Oh, no. I'm not reading that. No, I'm not reading that. Nathan Batcher, do you ever chase up last week's ref who was either amazing or followed a different set of laws of the game? So this is the where your new referees, they'll go out and they've been well tutored on the course. They know what to do. They let's do an example. Oh yeah, number 4, you need to take that sock tape off. Well, last week's referee.
Yeah, and this is sometimes where referees not necessarily let themselves down, but let the rest of the refereeing family down. Laws of the game are there, and we need to be following those laws of the game. Because if I go and do it, if I don't do it on week 1, and then Jason goes and does it properly on week 2, who are they going to give grief to? It's going to be Jason, and actually, it's me that's done it wrong. So, yeah, we all need to be following all of the... We may not think they're important laws, but they are if the referee the week after does it properly and you don't. So, yeah, things like undershirts, sock tape, number of people stood if they've got a technical area, things like that, are really important things that need to be done and should be done properly. All of the time.
I think the one thing that players and managers ask from refereeing is that consistency, isn't it? And the one way we can achieve consistency is if every referee applies the laws of the game.
Yeah, one of the big problems at the moment, and I know it's going to be reintroduced, is sin bins. Because at the moment, we've got some that use sin bins, we've got others that don't, and again, those that don't are actually letting down the referees that are doing it properly and simbing a player for dissent.
Absolutely. Okay, so refs aren't turning up after being told we have one. Luckily, parents step up. Any support or training for the parent? So stand-in refs, where are you on that?
There isn't a stand-in referees course, or we're not doing a stand-in referees course. We used to do courses for parents or stand-in referees, and the ones that we've actually done recently for leagues, we've had a few that have turned out to be referees. They've come in and done the referees course, but there is no course for stand-in parents. We would hope that whoever takes on the whistle and does referee that game does have a general knowledge of the laws of the game. They may not know them, word for word, but yeah, we would hope that a stand-in referee does have a knowledge of the law, and don't forget that they, as a stand-in referee, still have the same powers and duties as a fully qualified referee.
Okay, so knowledge of law. So we've got 58 people currently watching. So let's ask them a question about throw-ins. The same question that you asked me the other day.
Yep.
You remember it? So go on then. Don't go and Google online laws of the game. So just see if you know this answer to this question, right? According to the laws of the game. All right, let's make that clear. According to the laws of the game. Pop it in the chat and we'll shout out some right answers. shout out some hilariously wrong answers as well. Let's do that. Richard, what's the question?
Well, there were two questions on the throw-in, but I'm going to assume is can a player take a throw-in whilst on their knees?
There you go. Can a player take a throw-in whilst on their knees? There you go. Answers into the chat, please. Right. Let's go through. Mark Davies, Jill and himself were always on site, so they would welcome the opportunity to support and offer young referees some guidance. But a bit of an issue is that young referees, perhaps because they're not confident, tend to turn up, do the game and go. Mm-hmm. So, is there something that can be given to our new referees to let them know that there are people like Mark and Julian at venues? If you've got any questions, concerns, go and ask them. Yeah,
there's no reason why we can't draw up a register of mentors or club people. So if Mark and Jill, if we put you through the course, the mentors course, we could draw up a register and say if you go and have if you're at SB Frankfurt or Signal Box and you have an issue, Mark and Jill are on site. If you want to go and have a chat to them, or actually, even if at some stage the club's open and you want to nip in, and Mark and Jill may say, actually, this is how we can help you, or this is what you may want to try.
Okay, and Alan Lewis is suggesting that actually the best bacon baps in Plymouth?
Oh, definitely.
From the snack box?
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely, you've tried a few, have you?
Well, I haven't, but I've seen the photos. Mark, I will make a visit just to try.
Oh yeah, because it's a million miles away from you.
Oh yes, such a long trip.
Yes, it's that uphill back that's the problem.
Yeah.
Right, so Andy's coming on the June course, which is great. Jay Bennison, what's being done to attract new referees? He constantly struggles to get referees.
Yeah, it's an issue that not just Devon are having, but it's a national thing at the moment. Is the shortage of referees. How do we attract them? We sell all the positives of refereeing. It's good for fitness, it's good for health, it's good for personal skills, especially for a youngster, sort of communicating with people, and you can earn some money from it. Some decent money to be earned from refereeing. After the original outlay of the referees course, you're in profit within a month, 6 weeks, and then after that, even if you're refereeing a youth game at £20-25 a game, that's still considerable amount of money.
Okay. Let me do a great answer. Sam. Look, I'm gonna read the comment from earlier that I refused to read. Right. I'm pretty sure money has exchanged hands here, either electronically or physically. Mm-hmm. All right, so I say it with this little caveat from Mark Lewis.
Okay.
Richard Mason is a fantastic man and a perfect man for developing young refs in Devon.
Well, what can you say, Mark? It's thank you for that. That's I don't know what to say now, really. That's great praise from you.
A good referee.
A good referee.
Good referee, was Mark Lewis.
Yeah. So thanks for that, Mark.
Time is still on your side, young man. Time is still on your side. Right. Question from Sam Rhodes. I'm not sure this is appropriate for you. Mm-hmm. So please feel free if you want to pass this one over to me to answer. I'll quite happily to jump in and help you with this one. Sam Rhodes, do referees have to move from the centre circle?
Well, Sam, it would be good if they did. Yeah. As everything, when we do the course, we do say about getting a position where you can see things, and it's very difficult to give credible decisions if you're only in the centre circle. So if we could get out of the centre circle, it would be great.
I miss you, Sam. I miss you. Right, Mike Ebden. Is there a set time that young, inexperienced referees are given a mentor support? He's seen some young referees allocated to fixtures that are beyond their experience, and often refereeing teams that are similar to their own age. And they really struggle to assert their authority on the game, understandably, of course. And it can be a negative experience for all involved. So, is there a set time?
So a referee will, a new referee will get a mentor. The plan is for 3 of their first 5 games. If they still want a mentor after that, we can arrange it, but we can't get a mentor to every game that they referee for 6 or 12 months. But yeah, and the appointment should be that you don't referee anyone. So if you are under 16, you don't referee anyone that's the same age as yourself. You should always referee people that are at least 1 year younger than you as the referee.
But I guess we can refer back to your earlier comment about leagues appointing appropriately, can't we?
Yeah.
Because then that would very much solve that issue there. So that's a really tough one to answer, that is. James Tax, Sock Tape, mate, absolutely. Just remember, in grassroots football, we don't make the laws of the game. We're just simply there to apply them. So sock tape is a ridiculous law in grassroots football. Totally agree with you. But as referees, that's what we have to do. So, yeah, unfortunately it is. As a follow-up, Mike, again, when allocating the referees, the importance of the fixture considered alongside the referee experience, absolutely right. Yeah. Again, refer back to our original answer. Mark Allen, can the parent, the stand-in referee, not do the online modules that you attend prior to doing the referee's course?
Yeah, they can, Mike. That's a good way of doing it. But that only gives you an insight into a few bits. Yeah, they're important bits, and it's good for especially a new referee that's coming onto the course to have that pre-course knowledge. But there's no reason why they can't do that, and that is. We can put a link to that on our website. I think that link to our website may already be on there. So, but we can put the link to those modules on there. That's not a problem.
Okay. Do you want some answers to your quiz question? Remind our audience, what is your quiz question?
Can a player take a throw-in whilst on their knees?
Right. Okay. So let's go to the first one. Alex Bunn. Mm-hmm. We're not going to give the answer yet, by the way. Player must be standing facing the field of play when taking the throw. A referee says yes, they can be on their knees. Another one, yes, so long as both knees are in contact with the ground when it's released. No, they can't. No, both feet must be on the ground facing the field of play. My understanding is they must be standing facing the field of play, so no, they can't be on your knees. That's Stuart Kane, by the way, who says hello as well. That's it. Yeah, so you've got a mixed bag there, Rich.
Wow.
The last thing we do will reveal the right answers. All right? Although your question has lost us 20 viewers, so we're now down to 41. So
okay.
Right, okay. Ramazan Izik from the wonderful city of Plymouth. So they've got no facilities at their ground, no change rooms whatsoever. So on one occasion, a referee was forced to use the bushes to answer the call of nature.
Yeah.
What can be done about that? Because actually, if you're at a youth game and you're an adult and you need to go, you need to go.
Yeah.
So, that's not great for people to see, whether it be the parents or the kids. But, yeah, I know plenty, especially at Stadiscombe. If you're at the far pitch at Stadiscombe, I mean, they've got great facility there, loads of toilets. The problem is they're about 3 miles away. So, what can we do about that?
Well, if that situation arises and a referee's got to go, they've got to go, as Jason said. But they've got to make sure that they're far enough away and do it as discreetly as possible, really. It would be great if we could have changing rooms at every venue, but we know that if you have a facility, it would probably suffer some damage, some vandalism, and ultimately someone's got to pay for that, and that's why a lot of the facilities have been closed. That councils haven't got money, or they're spending the money on what they deem more important things. So, yeah, in answer to your question, if a referee's got to go, they've got to go. But do it as discreetly and as far away as they can.
And let's point our clubs to the. I think that we put a graphic up on our page yesterday, might have even been today, about the funding opportunities that are available to grassroots clubs, and one of it, got funding available through our community fund and other streams that can help with change rooms and stuff. So, Ramazan, if you're in one of them, please get in touch with the guys in the football development department. And I'm sure if there's some funding available to help with this situation, then they'll point you in the right direction. Alan Lewis, happy 60th birthday, Richard.
Thanks, Al. Thank you, Alan. Still not as old as Jason. Oh, no.
Do you want me to delete Alan?
Delete Alan?
Yeah,
no,
well,
don't delete
no?
Alan. That's
okay,
fine.
Not yet. You give me the nod and I'll...
No, that's fine.
All right, okay.
Not after Mark's comment. I can live with that.
Well, no, we leave Mark.
Oh, they come as a pair.
Oh, okay.
It's like Hayward and Mason come as a pair.
Oh, Hayward and Mason sounds like a shopping centre in North London. Mark Davis has come back, so I can think of a few young referees, and sadly it is only a few, who have turned up, done all their pre-match checks, done their own warm-ups, and then you hear from the parents is, "Oh, look at him, he thinks he's Premier League." Mm-hmm. So, is there an expectation there that our parents and spectators need to realise that actually referees will A, do what they're told, and B, they'll also follow what they see on the TV, same as players do. Referees will also do the same.
Yeah.
And actually, it's those referees that tend to go on to higher levels. But yeah, people need to understand that actually we copy that as well.
Yeah, but if the teams warm up before the game, the worst thing that can happen to a referee is a sprint in the first minute from one end of the pitch to the other and do themselves an injury. So, yeah, if you see a referee warming up, just means that they're preparing for the game, same as the players do.
Right, I'm going to upset someone now with this next question from Bertie Patrick.
Okay.
Alan Lewis is not going to like this.
Oh.
Is it possible to reach the level of a Premier League referee whilst living in a town like Tavistock?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. It doesn't matter where you live. Geography is not an issue. If you're good enough and you progress, you will reach the heights that you deserve to reach.
Absolutely. Well, you've only got to look, Bertie, at, and he's on the call, and I'm sure another one will tune in later. And, we've got Brett, not a million miles away from you in North Devon. You've got Lee Swaby, Football League referee. So, not far off that Premier League, and who knows. And then you've got Mark Whaley, National List, Plymouth as well. So the geography doesn't matter if you're good enough. So if you're good enough and you want to apply yourself and get to that level, Bertie, then there's absolutely no reason why you can't. And Simon Long, it's not Cornwall's,
Cornwall,
where Simon lives in Cornwall isn't far away, Premier League assistant referee. So being in this part of the world will not stop you if that's what you want to do and you've got the ability to get there, Bertie. So yeah, if you've got aspirations, and I'll tell you what, you'll get there quicker than any player will. So yeah, stick at it, young man. Time is definitely on your side to achieve that ambition as well. But don't be afraid, Bertie, to when opportunities come up and Richard's looking for assistant referees. You may well get the opportunity to work with your likes of Mark and Lee. And, Sean Rothwell's not that far from you. Sean's progressing up, albeit as an assistant, but he's got fantastic refereeing knowledge. When you're working with these guys, tap them up. You need to be an absolute nightmare for them when they're there. How do you do this? How do I improve this? How do I do this? How do you get on with dealing with players at all this levels? They have got so much information to share with you. So make sure you ask those questions and take the opportunity to referee with those guys. Tavistock, good, well-established club playing at a high level, quite often get good referees there as well. Tom Anstons-Mitchell's there quite a lot. I see it on all the photos. Yeah, when you're there, I'm sure if you knock on Tom's door at the end of the game, if he's had a good game, he'll sit and talk to you. If he's had one of them games, he may just want to disappear off. But, ask questions and I'm sure they'll answer it and help you. Right. Mark Davis, you mentioned referees sprinting.
Yeah. Yeah, they do occasionally.
Okay.
I'm getting outside the centre circle, Jason.
And what's one of them?
For Sam Rhodes. I've seen a couple of referees sprint this year.
Okay. Oh, fair enough. DC Autos withdrawn from the Devon Football League. Paul Allen wants to give a shout out to one of the best club assistant performances he's ever seen, which is from Maisie Frickleton, who was absolutely fantastic doing a line for him. Ramazan Isik, thank you for the way you answered his question. That's great. Brian Johnson, can you go down the route of being an assistant? All right, I know the answer to this, so I'm going to put a caveat in there. At what level can you be a specialist?
Up until level 4, you will dual role. So you'll be a referee at your current level, and you'll be assistant referee at the level 1 above. When you get to level 4, you can choose to go down the specialist assistant role, which means then you will just be an assistant referee week in, week out at step 4 or 5 football, and you will be an assistant referee then for the rest of your career. Unfortunately, it does at the moment. It's you've got to get to step 4 as a referee, level 4 as a referee. Is that going to change? Who knows? Could it get lower? Could we have specialist assistant referees on the South West Peninsula League? And I know we have some great assistants who just want to run the line week in, week out. And Stephen Brealey and does it. You know, there are others that just want to do the line. Yeah, could we make that a pathway? Who knows?
Watch this space is very much the answer to that one. Mark Ebden Matthews. So a question on jewellery when playing. Obviously, we all received the email about jewellery being worn during the game. I'm not sure what your question is there, Mark, but players, match officials wearing jewellery. Yes, oh, hang on. But why do we need to take our wedding bands off to play? Why can't we tape it up?
Because that's what the laws of the game say. Unfortunately, again, that's one of those that some referees will let players get away with wearing a wedding band that's taped up. But the laws of the game say all jewellery must come off.
Okay, so let me chuck some quick fire examples at you. All right. Wedding ring, can't take it off, ref. I've put on a few pounds since I got married.
Yeah, sorry, it comes off or you don't play.
Oh, right. This ear piercing, I've just had it done. Got to keep it in for a week.
Yeah, out it comes or you don't play.
Oh, I've got my eyebrow pierced. I really can't take it off.
Oh, definitely got to come out because that is very dangerous to you.
Okay. I've got my nose piercing, but it's one of these special nose piercing that is made of a special metal, helps my balance, and I've got a doctor's note to say I can wear it.
Yeah, out it comes.
I've got an intimate piercing. Do I have to take that out?
No.
There you go.
Because I'm not going to ask to see that.
You could have just left it at no when I was moving on from there. You didn't have to go into anything else. So, yeah, unfortunately. And Mark, all Premier League clubs wear them. Watch the... Oh, I can't remember what game it was on yesterday. It was game on it yesterday with a player, I think it was one of the United players that got subbed off. Oh, Patrick Bamford at Leeds, right? So watch him. So he's got tape on his wrist, which immediately you'll watch it and go, he's got a bracelet on and he's taped it up. Watch as he comes off. He's substituted off by Mark Scubala, doesn't like it, and as he's walking off, he takes the tape off. There's nothing there. There's nothing under that band. I got caught out by this at Truro. All right, I had a player coming out of the tunnel, loads of tape on his finger. Mate, you need to take that off. Why? Ring underneath. And he's, no, there isn't. Mate, yes, there is. No, I'm not falling for this. I wasn't born yesterday. And it went on, and he went, look, I'll show you. And unwound his finger, there was nothing under it. So I said, why have you got it taped up? He went, because I have to take it off because you tell me to, which is fine. However, if I take my wedding ring off, A, I might lose it, and B, my missus might see, and I'm going to get in so much trouble, so I just tell her it's taped up. Oh, okay, I'd never thought of it like that. And I've had a player tell me about their wrist taping. They're so used to having something on their wrist that it feels alien to them when they haven't got something on their wrist. So that tape gives them that sense of security back. So I understand what you're saying, Mark, but actually they won't have anything underneath there. It's a weird footballing superstition. But go back, it's one of them laws of the game. that we have to do. Don't necessarily agree with it, but that's what the laws of the game say.
That's very similar to undershirts as well. You know, team with a red sleeve, they've got to be red shirts, red undershirts, or predominant colour of the main shirt. So you can't have one wearing red and one wearing blue or whatever. They've all got to wear the same.
Keepers wearing black. That's another one.
Yeah.
Right. Rich, what's your opinion on referees wanting to progress up the levels, but on the women's pathway?
So the women's pathway is open to all referees as well.
Men and women?
Yeah, men and women. So if anyone wants to go seek promotion or progression through the women's pathway, when the applications come out in the summer, let me know. We've had a couple that have gone the women's pathway, and I know there are at least 2 that would like to do the women's pathway next season already.
So let's be clear then, that allows you to referee a higher level on the women's pyramid whilst maintaining your level where you already are on the men's pyramid.
Yes. Yeah, so level 5 referees could referee at grassroots level, or they could be refereeing on a Sunday at the Women's National League level.
Excellent. Okay, there you go, Stephen. Hopefully that answers that one. How is Ursula, by the way? We're both dying to know, Richard.
And did you notice? Did you notice? Of course, he came on just when we started mentioning rings, Jason.
Yeah. Well, I'm not saying anything. You know, we've got county finals coming up. I'm sure it could be discussed there. Right, Matt Barrett. How many cards is Ash Trigger Harris on at the moment?
I lost count, Matt.
Too many. Is there a county record for issuing red cards in successive games for the women's game? If not, he's got a contender. Second successive game yesterday with a red card.
Ooh.
All right, okay. Matt Redmond's here. Hello, Matt. How are you? What happens if a referee forgets their boots?
What happens is someone, especially, just imagine if you turned up at a ground where, say, the IDO was, and you'd forgotten your boots, and then you had to borrow a pair of boots that are possibly a size too big. The embarrassment that would happen. Yeah. So, Matt, in all seriousness, on the course, one of the things I do say is about preparation, and I know referees have been caught out not having boots and things like that, but preparation is really, really important for a referee. Make sure you've got everything that you need for that game.
Ever forgotten your boots?
No, I can't say that.
No?
No.
Forgotten a whistle?
Yes.
Cards?
No.
Flags?
Ball at half time.
Oh, yeah, we've all done that, haven't we?
Yeah.
Or even before the game, walked out the ball in the change room.
Or a watch that stopped after about 30 seconds and then not realised.
Yeah, but to be fair, back in your day, your watches were wind up.
Yeah, I know. And
solar powered. Shall we move on?
You've got Liverpool wind up ones, haven't you?
Oh yeah, what's the score, by the way? You want to just talk amongst yourselves a minute? We'll see what what the score is. Richard, tell a story.
Oh, I don't know. I could tell you the story of someone that turned up at Coach Road without their boots, but
let's not embarrass him.
No.
The last thing I want to do is drop a referee in it for forgetting his boots at Coach Road. Mm-hmm. I don't think we should embarrass him at all.
No.
And we should leave it at that and leave Matt Redmond alone in peace.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Right, Michael Maloney. Mm-hmm. So, somewhat difficult question for you here. So, really enjoyed prioritising referees this season. However, part of him still wants to play. All right, but he's been speaking with more experienced referees that are often told you need to make a choice between playing and refereeing. Is that the right message to send out? And is there can somebody who wants to play and referee actually do both and get to a decent level?
They can. You can do whatever you want. Especially the new progression pathway is driven by the individual, the referee. So yeah, you can play and officiate and referee at the same time. Although you wouldn't be able to referee in the league that you play in. But one thing on that is remember that if you receive a discipline sanction, especially a red card whilst playing, that that suspension carries into your refereeing as well. So if you get suspended for a game, actually you're suspended from refereeing for that period of time as well. So yeah, just a warning to anyone that wants to go and play. I've not got a problem with that, but yeah, if you get a discipline sanction, it also includes your refereeing.
It's also worth mentioning as well, unless regulations have changed, Richard, you can get promoted from 7 to 6 and 6 to 5 just doing Sunday football in adults, but you cannot get promoted to level 4 unless you do adult Saturday competitions. So I suppose the answer to your question is, once you reach level 5 and you've got aspirations to go to 4 and beyond, Michael, then that point there's a decision to be made. Doesn't stop you, however, refereeing on a Saturday and playing on a Sunday. So you can switch your refereeing around that way and progress, and you can still be an amateur Sunday player playing in P&D or the Extra District Sunday League and referee at level 4, 3, 2 and 1. It just depends on can your fitness take it, and do you want to switch from a Saturday to a Sunday. So it's very much in your court. Michael, still 0-0 at Anfield. Half an eye on that. Is it a question from Mike again? I'm not sure you'll be able to answer this one, Richard. I think it's more of a league issue. But in youth football, is it tracked to ensure the same teams don't go out without a referee allocation week after week, whilst other teams seem to get a referee week after week?
I think that may depend also on location. So teams that are quite a way out, may not always get a referee. But leagues would certainly try where they can not to ensure that teams get referees when they can.
Okay, so very much, I think it's very much, Richard, isn't it, that you train the referees and then hand them over. Can't think of a better phrase, but you know what I mean, to the leagues then to allocate them games, and where they go is very much down to the league decisions. So I take this as a huge compliment. The 2023 version of Saint and Greavesy. Take that.
Who's that from?
Mark Davies.
Oh, Mark.
Yeah, very good. Stephen Brealey's answering questions from earlier in the night, which is great.
Okay.
He mentors referees on the Devon Girls League, but he's not mentioned Ursula.
Not yet.
No, and we've asked. We've asked how she is,
Yeah.
and he's not mentioned. He's not answered. So I'm not sure. Christoph is here from North Devon. Christoph, hello. How are you? Long time no speak to you, young man. Questions have kind of died up at the minute, Rich. So is there anything, hot topics you want to mention? Oh, let's talk about refereeing decisions at the weekend, shall we?
Oh, we could talk about a few.
So sending off at Southampton Wolves. Correct or not?
Yes.
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We need to. That's the sort of thing that we need to stop players doing.
Yes, so very much in line with Premier League guidance, isn't it? That, if you've got two players around you and the third one joins, then it's the third one that gets caution. We did comment, though, didn't we, that you'd like to see a little bit more of it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
A little bit more consistency across the board from that particular guideline, but there you go. Ursula's fine.
Oh, good.
All right. And a question has been asked, and I did say that we'd ask the questions, didn't we?
Yeah.
This hasn't come from us. You're not asking this question. I'm not asking this question.
Okay.
So Paul Allen is asking, when are Steve and Ursula getting married?
Wow. There you go.
When's the big day? That's all I'm saying. We've not asked it. We'd love to know the answer, but we've not asked the question.
We're still running media matches at cup finals, so
the opportunity is indeed there. So, Stephen, I'll leave it to you whether you choose to answer that question or not. Alan Lewis thinks me and him now look like bookends. Well, following your trend, Alan, you do it quite so well. I thought I'd join you. And the fact, if you look closely, it's not growing here anymore, so I have to take it all out. Jake, ex-Southampton player, gets sent off and we still lose. Yes, you did. I'm not going to say anything because we're still 0-0. Even Scott's jumping on the bandwagon that Stephen really needs to get that ring on Ursula's finger. Christoph finally going from promotion level 4. About time, young man. I've been telling you for years to do it. and you haven't, you will make a very good level 4 referee. Decisions from this weekend. Potential handball, Richard, at Chelsea and West Ham.
Oh, definitely.
Yep.
Yeah,
Why?
definitely. If he is going to put his hand down to protect his foot,
No, we can't see your hands, by the way.
so
So you might have to lift them up a
if
bit.
the hand's going down to protect his
And
foot,
in a bit.
in a bit, yeah, it's going to go down, palm down. He didn't. It was a slap.
Yeah, we still can't see your hands.
He's,
I'll demonstrate. So if you look at the player's hand, when he puts his hand on the ball, he's got an open palm like that. All right. Now you know as well as I do, if you're trying to break your fall, your palm goes down. So to us, it was a clear indicator that actually he was putting his arm there to stop the ball going past him. So for us, it should be a penalty kick on that one. So it should have been given. Right, referee question. Here we go. Any advice, please, on pitch inspections, given the recent frost and the more frost and things upcoming with April showers and water, etc. And also mentioned 3Gs. We have a laugh and a joke about it, about 3Gs being called off. As question from Matt Redman, he will know, given what happened in the under-18s final a couple of years ago.
2 seasons ago.
Yeah. When we had torrential rain, 3G, we nearly had to call it off. So, advice, please, for referees on pitch inspections.
Yeah. So when you're going to do a pitch inspection, you've got to think about: is it safe? Is it going to last the entire game? To a degree, you're going to have to think about what the pitch is going to be like in next week or the week after. But primarily, is it safe? Is it going to make it? Is it going to be a competitive game? Is it going to be a farce if you play on the pitch? And actually think about the weather forecast as well, because if you turn up and it's a bit wet, and there's a couple of puddles but nothing too bad, but it's still hammering down, think what it's going to be like at the end of the game. And if you get to a stage where you think this game can't go on, it's becoming a bit of a farce, you can abandon the game.
Okay, 3 questions on the basis of that. Where do you make this decision?
Where?
Yep.
You go in and have a look at the pitch, or I know the higher up you go now, they're doing video calls and things like that. But yeah, you go in and inspect the pitch. You have a look around. Take a ball with you, because that's the important thing. Take a ball with you. See if it bounces. See if it rolls. Because the worst thing you can have as a referee is a ball that doesn't roll, or it doesn't bounce, and 2 players going in for a challenge, one expecting it to bounce, one reading the ball that it's not going to bounce, and you get a nasty collision.
Okay, so key message, do it there.
Do it there. Do it. Be seen to be doing it.
Yeah, absolutely. Not from your car, not from your front room. Go there and do it. So, follow. Who is the best person to speak to at the ground? In fact, I'll answer this because I know where I'm trying to lead the question. I don't want to lead you down the wrong path. Speak to the people that are there. So if you're down at Western Mill, the best person to speak to about the pitches is Mark, because Mark will know how it will react to water being on it, how quickly it will drain. When it comes to areas of frost and things like that. So I've had a game at WBB where we had a big track down the touchline that was covered in frost, and spoke to the groundsman. He said actually the sun doesn't get on that pitch, so it was never going to harden. But if I hadn't had that conversation, I may have believed that actually the sun's going to come on and loosen that up for us. So speak to the people that are there. If you've got a groundsman, great. Nobody knows their pitch better than them. Or the managers. The managers will have some previous experience. But as a follow-up then to Matt and the question about frost, so a rock-hard pitch due to frost, not playable. Correct? You've gone blank now.
Well,
I haven't turned your mic off. You know where this is going, don't you?
I love it, this discussion that we have, Jess. If the pitch is safe, it's flat, then I'm playing.
But it's solid.
And there's no different between that and in August when it is absolutely baked hard.
Can we have an argument on a live discussion?
No.
Because I disagree. I disagree with you.
So For me, if it's safe, play. But consider that, especially if it's been played on before, that there are going to be areas that are going to be rutted.
Safety is key. I'm absolutely with you on that. The way that I look upon it is like this. So a rock hard frozen pitch, right, will not break and will have no traction. It won't, because it's frozen solid. In the summer, where you've got, the muddy pitches that are hard, it breaks. And it breaks down under a player's boot, and there's a certain amount of traction there that you won't get on an ice pitch. So that's my thinking on the two. But you're absolutely right. Safety is the key, paramount. All right. There we go. Mark's come on this. Referee said as much to me when I refused to play a game as shards of ice were dangerous. Yeah, because if it's rutted, those ruts are solid and they're like ice. They're like razor blades on top.
Yeah, I did one. I went to a pitch 3 or 4 weeks ago when we had that really bad, and one of the teams were there, and it was only a kids' game, and I actually very carefully got one of the kids to put his foot in a rut. Whilst he was being supported, I would add.
Have we found that child yet, or is he still in the rut?
And no, he's definitely gone. But and I sort of demonstrated to the managers that those are the things that will break ankles. So you've got to be really, really careful.
But a perfectly flat pitch, look at those difference. So Mark got in a bit of trouble because he knew the pitch would suffer, the grass wouldn't grow, it'd still be frozen underneath, and he got charged for not abiding by the referee's decision, even though he's got a diploma in pitch management. So let's move on from that one. Yeah, I've lost your comment, Mark. I can't comment any further on that one. And a Toon red card. United against Tottenham, or Tottenham against United.
It's never a red card.
Why not?
Well, she plays for United.
Okay, we discussed this before we came on air.
Yeah, that's
red card or not?
No.
Why not?
No. She makes contact. The push is a push on the upper arm.
What's that there?
It's certainly not to the face. That the player makes, the Tottenham player makes it as if it's contact to the face. And the comment I made is I wished that I didn't think that sort of behaviour was going to come into the women's game, but unfortunately now it seems to be, it's creeping in. Yeah. And as referees, you need to cut it out. Players play acting is not a very nice thing.
No, but really difficult for the referee on the day to pick that up, isn't it? Because all they do is they see the arms going in, then they see the reaction, and they put 2 and 2 together, and they come up with 4 when actually the answer is 5 or 6. So really difficult for the referees. But actually, certainly at the top end of the game, there's scope there, I think, for the authorities to do a little bit more about that. But that's not for us to mention or have a look at. Nate, one word answer from you. That's all we need. Are Doncaster Rovers going up this season?
No.
Oh, there you go. You've heard it here first. Right. Traction. Yeah, Mark weighs on the same sort of thought process about traction, which is good. Right. No other question. I don't think we got any other decisions to talk about from the weekend.
No, don't think so.
So, should we give a 5-minute warning?
Yeah.
So 5 minutes, everyone. 5 minutes. We didn't put an end on this broadcast. We thought we're just going to keep going. As long as you've got questions, we're going to carry on. But there's no questions coming through. So we'll give you 5 minutes. We'll chat nonsense for 5 minutes and then we'll end. Unless you've got something you want to talk about. So please use that chat function there. And don't forget, you may have some referee colleagues that can't watch this tonight. But if you click the like button and the share button, this will put this broadcast onto your feed, and then your friends and colleagues will be able to pick it up as well.
So we've got 4 minutes until we give the answer, yeah?
4 minutes, yes. Are you not looking it up, are you?
No.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
All right, okay. Do you want to remind people what the question was?
Can a player take a throw-in whilst on their knees?
Okay, there you go. Matt Redmond, nonsense for only 5 minutes. Yeah, we've got to save some.
Yeah, we've got to save some for the cup finals.
Got to save it.
So, Jace, whilst we're here then, talking about County Cup finals.
Yes.
If anyone would like to join the media team for the cup finals, who do they contact?
Well, drop me a note, go comment on the post, get in touch with me on Facebook, jason.hayward at Devon FA, that's Hayward, Haywwood. Looking for camera operators, commentators, ideally looking for someone's got a media background and wants to get involved. I'm looking for a match day reporter. So someone that I can say, interview the managers before the game, do the written match report, update our Twitter for us, and then do some post-match interviews. That's all you need to do. It's all the written words. So you haven't got to worry about being on camera or behind the mics. You don't have to do that. So looking for someone to do that for us. Looking for someone to do the PA. So you get a microphone, you talk to everybody in the ground. Some of our fixtures, there's going to be a lot of people in this ground. Come and be part of the media team. It's not. It looks overly complicated, and I perhaps have overcomplicated it a little bit. But there's always someone on hand to guide you through it. It's good experience. It's good fun. It's good to be involved. So,
is there any knowledge of football required?
Well, we haven't got any.
So. No, I was going to say that's
and we do it.
Yeah. So, if people are fed up with hearing my voice and come and have a go.
Absolutely.
It's absolutely fantastic. First one's on the
26th of March.
Or the 24th of March.
Somewhere in March. End of March. And it is the Women's Senior Cup final, which will be between Exeter City Reserves and Juventus Devon. So going to be a big game, that, and a big crowd. And already confirmed we've got the Women's Premier Cup as well between Exeter and Plymouth. That's going to be huge. We've got our Sunday Cups were confirmed yesterday. Again, 4 Plymouth teams, that's going to be massive. Veterans Cup's hopefully going to be confirmed in the next couple of days. Some really, really big games coming up. So if you want to be part of it, come and be part of it. What do you mean return of Facebook jail, Stephen? It's always there. And, the producer, me, is in control of it. So I can put in Facebook jail whoever I want. And the good news this year is we've moved the commentary team closer to the production team. So Facebook jail can be used more often and it will be more successful. I grant you that.
So when's Stephen coming down with Ursula?
I don't know. Stephen will probably be here for the Ability Counts final, I would have thought, with Ursula. So, we'll get them on there. But he tends to watch every game, whether he's on a bus, a train or a car. I suspect you'll be there. Right, here we go. I've got some questions coming in, which is great. Nathan Batchelor, how are County Cup appointments made?
County Cup appointments are made by taking all the league information that we've got and selecting...
what do you mean league information?
So the marks that the clubs give.
Club marks.
Club marks, yeah.
So the marks that the clubs give referees...
Yeah.
That clubs believe are just binned and never looked at, you use for County Cup.
Oh, yes.
There you go, it's a lesson there.
That is the only information that we've got from the clubs on how the referees are doing. And then I will draw up the provisional appointments. They go to the referees committee to ratify, and then the appointments are made.
And then I look at them and go,
the first final has already been ratified by the referees committee, and the emails will be going out shortly to those officials.
And we'll keep that quiet to ourselves. But so it was always a great out for me when I did the County Cup appointments. The clubs were moaning, how is this referee doing the County Cup final? Well, you've marked them. You've given them the marks through the season. We've taken that information and we've appointed. But what I will say, and I don't know what your experience is of looking at these merit tables, certainly mine was, they're never far from accurate.
No, they're always, they seem to be pretty good.
The referees that I know are good tend to be at the top. The referees that I know struggle tend to be at the bottom of those marks. So you get the odd one that's wrong. Yeah, you're going to get that in any walk of life, but they tend to be right. So clubs, your marks count. All right, so please mark appropriately. What else we got? Any comment or development on the Peninsula Western League saga that seems ongoing?
There is a meeting with the FA coming up, I believe.
Okay, so keep your eye on. So I'm sure it will be announced on both leagues' Twitter feeds before anything else. What's your thoughts on the problems of parents and supporters getting involved at games, especially which ends in fighting? Adrian, we covered that right at the beginning of the broadcast. All right, so we talked about the processes the referee should follow and all this, that and the other, but you will appreciate, and I know the game that you're referring to, but you'll appreciate that the disciplinary process has to be followed. And whilst it's live and ongoing, both with the police investigation and our investigation, we're not going to comment on the specifics, all right? But yeah, tune back into the beginning of the broadcast and we went through that whole situation as best that we possibly could. Someone to do cake. No, we've changed that. You see, we've changed the process about cake this year, Matt. So you'll see the first final you'll come to. Here we go. Question from Bernard. You can make this answer as long or as short as you want. Do you think the punishment for abusing referees needs hardening up?
From a personal point of view, yes, definitely.
From a professional point of view?
Yes, definitely. Yeah, if we were to send out the message, and I think if we sent one message out to anybody of a long suspension, it wouldn't stop it, but it would certainly give players thought. They'd have to use a bit of thought process of, if I do this, I'm going to end up with X, Y, or Z ban. Yeah, I would like to see them increased.
Well, let's look at what we did with County Cups this season under the guidance, of Mark Bewley, that we've had misbehaviour at County Cups, and the Cups Committee has ruled very quickly, you're out. Mm-hmm. And we had one last season where we had the holders of a cup misbehave, you're out.
Yeah.
End of, no messing, you're out.
Mm-hmm.
And that message has been consistent. And we don't get much now, which is great. Hopefully it might have something to do with that message. You can never can tell, but yes, certainly needs hardening up. Elburton Vets, yes, Elburton Vets got through to they're one of the teams in the semi-final. We're just waiting for the other one. Paul, Stephen Brealey was here yesterday.
Right, Torquay ladies.
Yeah, Liscard.
Oh, okay.
He didn't leave you anything.
No.
There were no presents.
No.
No gifts or anything. No cards.
Oh, okay.
Oh right, okay. It's like that. It's this team. No, that's fine.
Maybe there's some chocolates in the post, Jace.
If that's what it's going to be, that's what it's going to be.
Yeah.
I have no problem with that at all. I have to read the comments that come through on Facebook, Richard. As you know, it's not my choice. I never mention my goal at Wembley. Other people do, and then I have to act upon that. But it's Liverpool 1-0.
Oh, is it? Oh, okay.
Well, get on.
To be fair, they've got to finish in the top half, I suppose.
Okay, follow up to Nathan's question. Assistant referees appointed cup finals exactly the same way as the referees?
Yes, yeah, indeed.
Yeah, exactly the same. So they're all appointed on merit according to club marks throughout the season. Although we have discussed possibly changing that. Won't mention it here. Needs to go through referees committee and stuff first. But no problem, Adrian. The referee was in here this afternoon and we talked about the support of writing reports and everything. So the referee's been in to see us and he's been well looked after as well. But beginning of the episode. Is that it for questions? Reverting to, this is Ramazan. This is a great question from Ramazan. So reverting to a question earlier, could referees come together and raise the urgency of the facilities as a group, either direct to the council or through us? And I've got another question as well, which I missed earlier, but I'll come back to. So do you want to answer that one while I find the other one?
I don't see why the referees couldn't, Ramzan. It's something that, to be fair, we've probably never been asked to do before. But yeah, that's we can certainly do that. Obviously, I know you're on about Plymouth Council, so I've got the contact details. That is something that we could go to the council with.
Okay, because I want to link that in with the earlier, and sorry, I hope you're still here, yes, in Satar, that I missed your question earlier and just reminded me that it's here. Is there any information on the RAs in Devon and how to get involved? Because the RAs are a body who could raise it on behalf of referees.
Yeah, so we have now, we've gone back to 4 areas for the Referees Association. So the North RA has started up again, which is great. So we have a Referees Association in North, South, East and West. And if anyone wants information on their local RA, just drop me an email and I can send you the information.
Okay, there you go. So yeah, our RAs could raise that facilities question on behalf of the referees as a group. Rumour is Liverpool are lining up Ronnie O'Sullivan as a late signing due to needing snookers to qualify for the... Mark, that's just not even funny. Not even funny. How do I delete people from this? Do you know? Michael Maloney's dropped you an email about promotion pathway. Can you help him getting his line games and 2 additional training modules?
Yeah.
Michael, I'm sure Richard will help with that. He's nodding there and up there as well. So yes, he will. Mike Ebden, as the good marks are used to allocate cup referees, what do you do with the low marks?
So if we receive a mark of 60 or below, it should be accompanied by a report of why you've given that mark. And I must say, this is something I discussed with the club today. We won't always action all of them, but if I get more than one on a referee, so more than one low mark a season for a referee, we will then send an observer or a coach, as they're known now, to go and watch that referee, and we'll deal with that referee depending on how that report comes back. So that those low marks are still taken into account, and they are actioned, but they're not necessarily actioned every single time we get a low mark.
Okay, so they're the low marking reports come in. What about, so you'll use the trend of the top mark referees over the course of a period to cup final appointments, which is great. How about those that are identified at the lower end across a period? So they may not have had the marks of your 40 and 50, but they're consistently getting 62, 65.
Yeah. And that will be the same, that they will be offered the support and the guidance that they need to...
How? I'm putting you on the spot. It's not something we thought would come up, but I'm putting you on the spot. So how? I'm getting poorly marked as Jason Hayward, on the South Devon League. Hard to believe, I know. Hard to believe. You just have to imagine. Yeah. Right, so I'm getting these. Why are you not smiling at that?
Well, I know it's true.
Oh, okay. So I'm getting consistently low marked.
Yeah.
What are you doing about me?
If it's consistently low...
Yep, every week.
Someone will come out and watch Jason Hayward.
Okay.
Someone will come and watch Jason Hayward and go, actually, Jason, you need to maybe do this. And it wouldn't necessarily be a coach, it could be a mentor, because it may be something that you need a little bit of support on, but not retraining from scratch. So it could be on communication, it could be on using the whistle, it could be on dealing with fouls, recognising fouls. So you'll get the support relevant to what your issue is, because actually I couldn't get everyone in because they're not all the same issue.
I disagree with you. Nothing wrong with my refereeing. The clubs are biased because I send people off and I don't stand for nonsense. That's why I'm getting that. I'm not listening to you, Richard. My refereeing's great.
Yeah. It's not, because actually the clubs are the ones telling us that you need some support. And you will get the support.
Well, what if I don't listen?
There is a track where you could be stopped from refereeing.
Right. Okay. So, actually, the marks, both high and low, are really important in terms of me keeping my status as a referee, or in terms of me getting those big appointments at the end of the season. Okay. Stephen Brealey, do clubs have to write a report to explain why they are marking a ref so high, 85 plus? No. No, sadly they don't. We're quite happy to take those marks. In fact, breaking news, you're still to drop a mark this season, are you not, Richard Mason? on your county cups?
No comment.
No. If I look it up, and in fact I may be able to share the screen with our viewers, that you're getting... Is he looking at him trying to look now? Look. See, as I just...
Did you think I've not looked today?
Let's have a look. Devon FA County Cups, referees, marks.
Yeah, but to be fair, I'm not doing... I am only doing the...
Richard Mason. 1 mark to come in.
Okay.
Yeah, but you're yet to drop a mark.
Okay.
There you go. Cup final for you, young man.
Only if I can get someone to do commentary.
No, I've got wireless. These mics are wireless. There's no
okay.
reason why you can't
Yeah.
be wearing one of these. And no, let's not go down that route. Okay, I've got more questions. Great, so we're going to keep going. I did promise, as long as the questions come in, we will keep going. We have wives, but don't worry about that. Okay, so Grant Fisher. Grant, hello, how are you, young man? Sorry about your results Saturday. You're absolutely flying with Brixton. We just got done on penalties. Unfortunate, but great exploits in one of the FA competitions this year. Well done, and I very much hope you're well. Very much alarmed by the amount of referees suffering abuse and the level of it. Getting physical now. Seeing it so regularly now, at what point do these clubs and people start to be seriously sanctioned and people just banned from football full stop? Fines are useless. Banning them for a period of time, useless. If you lay your hands on official, it should be goodbye.
Oh, totally agree. So I would back that 100%. That's what we need. We need lifetime bans for anyone, certainly anyone that makes contact deliberately with a referee in a violent manner.
We agree, Grant, but like we said earlier at the start of the broadcast, we've got sanctions that we can only issue in between the guidance that's offered by the FA. But I know refereeing abuse is a hot topic with the FA at the minute, so watch this space and we will see what happens in the near future. Serious notes, I see and try to educate managers who issue 100 marks consistently. That's just what they do. Maybe we need to educate managers so that if they score 90 plus or below 65, they have to write reports. Mark, whilst I'll agree with you, and I'll let Richard think about an answer here, is that if we say that 65 or below you have to write a report, 95 or above you have to write a report, we'll get a lot of 66s and we'll get a lot of 89s. That's just what managers will do. I had a debate with a youth league that, guys say, I always mark referees 100 because I'm grateful they turn up and to me they do a great job. Brilliant, give him 100. What if next week's referee is better? What are you going to give him? He said, what do you mean? So, well, next week's referee is better than last week's referee. Last week's referee was good. This one's better. What are you going to mark him? And he went, I'm going to give him, oh yeah, see what you mean. So sometimes you just have to adjust your starting point. So if you think all referees are great, give him a 90. But then you've got scope then to go, actually, this lad was really good, so I can give him a little bit more. If you pigeonhole yourself at 100, you've got nowhere to go. Absolutely nowhere to go. So I think it's more about, you're right, Mark, it's about educating managers and stuff. Any comment to make on that, Rich?
No, it's similar to what we get now. We get the 60 as the threshold. We get some 61s. And we get a range of 61 to 100 because managers don't think that writing a report is going to do any good, or the other way is actually we'll give them 100 because we won or whatever. There is a downside to club marks.
Or true story, and I won't mention the club, right? I won't mention the club. I got told this by a manager that if a referee is poor, they get marked 95 plus.
So they get promoted.
And I went, why? And he went, yeah, absolutely. He said, because that way we get them out of our league quicker.
Yeah.
If we mark them good, they get promoted and we don't see them again.
So that explains why we got promoted out of P&D and St.
Yes, yeah, maybe. But I would also say, and I know he won't be watching and he won't listen to this because this isn't his thing, but if anyone knows, Brian Howard of Ivybridge, he is one of the fairest markers of referees on that league. Mm-hmm. And I know that because he collared me in a changing room one day when I was doing a youth game and said, I'm going to show you what marks to give. And he pulled out his book and he showed me the variety of marks and how it looked different to the number of cards issued in the game. He is a very fair marker at Ivybridge. Brian Howard, so there you go. So shout out to Brian. Right, two questions, same. Mike Maloney, Jamie Sayer again. How do you find out the marks that you've been awarded?
You can drop me an email, and if I've got...
Drop who an email?
Drop the league.
Leagues.
an
Drop the
email.
links.
If it's one that I do appointments for, I haven't got a problem. But obviously, there are some leagues that I have no access to their full time.
The club marks the property of the leagues, so that they go to the leagues and the leagues forward them on to the asset will give us access to that marking system. But your league should be your starting point. So go to the leagues you referee on and ask them for your club marks, and they'll be able to show you. Alan Lewis, thank you for your comments. It's great. Nathan as well. Yeah, Grant, we agree. The sanctions need to be tougher. Totally with you. You know, it's unfortunately we've got to follow the guidance we're given. Hi guys, I have a question about support for younger referees. For younger referees like myself, this has come from Ewan, who want to go for promotion next season. What support do you offer for referees who want to progress up the levels? Richard.
So we have the coaches that will be able to give you advice. We're hoping to restart our core program, Centre of Referee Excellence. I think it was called, Jason.
So, I thought you were in my program.
Yeah. So gonna, obviously during COVID, that's been pretty well. It has been non-existent because we've just not had the facilities to do it or the scope to do it. But we're looking at restarting that again next year. And each referee, should they want it on the promotion pathway, will be allocated a coach or someone that can talk them through games and give them some advice, apart from the match day observer coaches that they're going to get as well.
Okay, what I will say, Ewan, is if you've got ambition to progress and you want to go through, same with you, Bertie, if you're still listening, you need to make that known to Richard. All right, so drop him a line, have that conversation with Richard, and then I'm sure you will be included in further opportunities to progress. We have club assistants, which is accepted, so why shouldn't we have club referees? I know at least one individual is happily put on our senior games week in, week out. No favours, just a great referee.
Yeah. At the moment, that's not something that the FA would recognise as a suitable answer, I'm going to say. It's a temporary solution to the refereeing shortage problem that we've got nationally.
What I will say, Mark, though, is you need to let your leagues know that, because the South Devon League, Phil Smith knows that there are clubs that have got referees within the club ranks, and he knows that those individuals are happy to step into the role if they haven't got an allocated referee, so he uses that information to his advantage as well when appointing. So what I will say, Mark, is let your leagues know, because that might be information that they'll be able to use as well. Murat's on. Thank you for your comment, Murat. And Murat, I hope all your family and friends back in Turkey are safe and well. I know your people in Turkey and North Syria are going through a really, really tough time at the minute. So our thoughts to you and your family, Murat, on that disaster following the 2 earthquakes. 35 people still watch it, which is amazing. Richard, let's now put a deadline on this. We're going to go to 9 o'clock. Let's say 9 o'clock, so you've got another 7 minutes. We've extended, we'll extend again. It's great. It's great to be able to talk to everyone that's here. But let's go 9 o'clock. We're going to cut it and finish.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, so 9 o'clock, we're off and done. So, Richard, anything you've got coming up that you want to mention? Any thoughts and feedback? Don't forget, you still got your quiz question to answer.
Yeah. So coming up, we've got the referees' courses. Obviously, I'm off to North Devon in March. We've got Newton Abbott. There's one in Axminster. There's one in Plymouth coming up, planned through now in the summer. If anyone wants to or knows someone that wants to book onto that, if they're a qualified referee and you recommend someone to come on the course, from next season we are going to do a recognition of somebody who's put someone onto the referees course, and at the end of the season there will be a prize for a referee if they've recommended someone who's come and done the referees course and then completed their 5 games. Can't say what that prize is going to be yet because it's top secret.
And you don't know.
And we don't know, so I can't say. So, obviously, there's lots going on during the summer. We'll have some mentor courses. If anyone wants to do the mentors course, when they come out, let me know. don't have to be an active referee. Or if you can only mentor, you could be a senior referee and only mentor on a Saturday morning, that's fine, because our super mentors will take advantage of all of those people that can help.
Oh, something you've not mentioned before, super mentors.
Yes.
So still got 4 of them?
Still got 4 of them.
All across the county.
Yep.
So if anyone wants to be a mentor, they can contact the super mentors, just have an unofficial chat.
Yeah.
So let's give a shout out. Who are they?
Brian Johnson.
West Devon, Plymouth.
Yeah. Adrian Codlin.
East Devon.
Yeah. Eddie Green.
South Devon.
And Tony Butler.
In North Devon. All right. So if you know those guys and you're interested in mentoring, just have a chat with them. Drop them a message, drop them an email, you see them at a game. Just say, well, this is referee mentoring, Lark. How can I get involved? What can I do to help? So, because it's great to be able to offer that support and experience that we've got onto the newer referees that are coming through. So again, no questions. Still got 34 viewers, which is fantastic. Let's do, with 4 minutes to go, your Paul Redding, happy to support referees course is needed. And I'm not. I'm just waiting to see if he types the end of his message.
Okay. I'm assuming he's going to say when he's not away.
Yes, and I'm not busy working offshore, of course.
Yes.
Well done. So there you go. So you got Paul to help and support there. Mark Davies, com. Okay. Right. So your quiz question. Remind us what the quiz question was again.
Can a player take a throw in on their knees?
Can a player take a throw in whilst on their knees? So we had a mixed bag. We've still got a mixed bag of answers. So let's do the big reveal. Mm-hmm. And Richard Mason, what is the answer?
The answer is a player must be standing, facing the field of play when taking a throw in.
There you go. So standing, and that word is in law. So they must be standing, facing the field of play. So the answer to the question is no. No, they cannot take a throw in whilst they are on their knees. So well done to all those that said no. Bit of reading required to those that didn't. Go to FIFA.com, laws of the game, and it's all there. And do Mark, communication is key. If referees communicate what they see, it's more than half the battle. Tough for inexperienced, but needs to be a crucial aspect. Yeah, this why I love particularly rugby league referees, because rugby league referees do as much communicating with their hands as they do with their mouth, and it's all about signals and what they've given, so people instantly know whistle goes, signal given, that's what the decision is. And yeah, it does help with the acceptance of such a decision there. So 2 minutes, Richard. What do you want to talk about for 2 minutes?
How Liverpool game?
1-0 half time. Okay. Thanks for asking.
Okay. Well, I've got to keep you happy, because you haven't been happy since August, have you? So.
And Jake was watching, which is great.
Jake.
So
his team obviously strongest in the Premier League.
Absolutely, holding everyone else up. Question, because we've got less than 2 minutes now. So Jamie Sayer, why are referees not allowed to wear comms kits?
That is just a direction actually from the FA, Jamie. At the level that we operate on, you're not allowed to use comms kit. The only person who's allowed to use a comms kit from Devon is Lee Swaby, who's on the Football League.
A question for you, Jamie. At grassroots football, who are you going to communicate with? Because you're on your own. You're house referee. Why are we not allowed to use the magic spray for 10 metres? That's a more interesting question.
Yeah, again,
that's my question.
I'm not answering it then. That's just a directive from the FA. I know the guys that use it have had to have some specialist training.
No, they haven't. They've been pointed to a PDF document and said that's how you use the kit. I'll disagree with the FA on that. We're allowed an opinion. Comms kits I understand, because it's a unique piece of kit to use. But the spray, how useful would that be us at grassroots level? And yet they go, no, you're not allowed to use it. Why not? Because you haven't had the training. And you ask the Football League guys, how much training have you had on the use of the magic spray? And they say, we got pointed to a PDF document.
Yeah.
So there you go. My thoughts. Very much my thoughts. Jamie says, so when they're running the line in the Western League, etc., with high-level officials, there could be an argument for the higher levels Jamie, I'm with you on that, but yeah, Richard's right in the direction. Alan Lewis's practices with shaving foam in his garden.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. That wouldn't
Oh,
surprise
that'd
me.
be great, wouldn't it? Absolutely great. Richard, it's 9 o'clock.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
We're done. Done. Do you want to say a final word before
I just want to
switch us
thank
off?
everyone that is refereeing for what they do. Who knows, with the County Cup appointments coming out, some of you may be here doing games, and if you don't get appointed to a County Cup final this year, keep going, because there's always next year. And if you don't get appointed to one this year, come and do comms. Come and do some media stuff. Thank you again to everyone for tuning in tonight, and we will hopefully together with clubs, leagues, make refereeing better in Devon and across the country.
Absolutely. Well said, Richard, and thank you. And that's it for us, ladies and gents. Thank you for being part of this broadcast. Don't forget to click the like and share button. So I'm sure there are people that benefit from this session that weren't able to join us tonight. Your comments and everything have been great. Thank you very much. It's very much about you. We've answered your questions. So yeah, please bear that in mind for future broadcasts. Thank you very much, everyone. Hopefully you'll have a wonderful end to your season, whenever that might be. And yeah, stay safe when you're out there refereeing, and don't forget the support is here when you need it. Thank you very much, one and all, and Liverpool won.